the need to study the macroeconomics. What is the reason or what is the purpose we need to study about the macroeconomics? Let you understand this particular concept of macroeconomics in different perspective. We are going to study the macroeconomics in terms of individual perspective, in terms of household, in terms of government, in terms of we are going to study in the perspective of the firms, in terms we are going to study about the perspective of the foreign sectors or a foreign company contributions. Likewise, in different sectors, in different needs, we need to study about the macroeconomics. Let first we take from the view of point of consumers, firms and government. These three sectors are taken into consideration. Point of view of these three sectors are collectively together is trying to understanding the macroeconomics, understanding the need of macroeconomics. The macroeconomics tries to anticipate the economic conditions to be able to help the consumers, firms as well as the government in terms of their decisions. Let you take one particular example of this, how the macroeconomics is helping. It is in terms of what salary that the individuals are receiving, how much they are spending for buying the product from the firm, with that what would be the revenue generated by the firm, with that what the firm is going to pay in terms of taxes to the government. So, how the government is going to take the decision. So, collectively what the aggregation concept is going to help for the firm, help for the household, help for the government are going to be benefited by the study of macroeconomics. From the point of view of economics performance of the economy viewpoint we have taken, a study of macroeconomics help us to evaluate the success or failure of the economic policies of the government and the central bank of the country. It is in term we are going to measure or identify the performance of economy in terms of we are going to understand the GDP rate. If the GDP is going to be the performance of a country, how we are going to measure or how we are going to evaluate. So, that the particular thing, the GDP is going to be the situation in which we are going to understand, we are going to evaluate the performance of a country. We are going to measure the performance of the country in terms of government policies, economic policies, in terms of the policies of the government like a fiscal policy or like you take for example of monetary policy, you take example of the credit policy, what would be the prevailing rate of return, what would be the facilities are provided by the government, what would be the rate that the government is suggesting that the banks should follow the rate like the cash reserve ratio, statutory liquidity ratio and the repo rate, reverse repo rate, marginal standing facilities, bank rate. Likewise, they tend to change. These are the measures in which I am going to be able to measure the performance of the country, performance of the economy in the particular country. Third important parameter, we need to understand the need of macroeconomics in point of view of economic stability and growth, sustainability as well as the development of economy. Although the macroeconomics involves wide field of study, stability and the growth of major areas to determine the consistency of growth of an economy. The growth in terms of a sectoral wise, in terms of a growth of agricultural sector, growth of industrial sector, growth of a services sector, how collectively this growth is going to contribute to the growth of economy, we are going to study under this. So, the need to study about the macroeconomics. First, you need to understand what is circular flow. The circular flow is a movement. We are going to measure the movement of money, we are going to measure the movement of goods and services. So, in that the particular thing we are going to divide the circular flow into two major categories. The first one, real flow. What is real flow? Is a flow of factors of production. What are the factors of production? Is a land, labor, capital and entrepreneurial ability. So, that we call it as the factors of production as well as the flow of goods and services from the different sectors. So, what are the different sectors? We normally divide the economy into various sectors, 2 sector economy, 3 sector economy and 4 sector economy. What is in 2 sector economy? 2 sector economy consists of households as well as firms, that the 2 sectors included in the economy. which means we are not taken the rest of sector into calculation while calculating the income and expenses. We will calculate only the flow of goods and services within the firms as well as the household only taken into consideration. Well, we take the 3 sector economy, we will take the household, we will take the firms, we will take the government is also into consideration. For the government is also manufacturing, the government is also offering the goods and services, government is also transferring the payments, providing subsidies, and the government is also collecting taxes, so that the flow also calculated in the 3 sector economy. While we take the 4 sector economy, the 4 sector economy we also included together this household, firm as well as government, along with we include the rest of the world, which means the foreign sector, the export and import activities of the nation is also taken into the calculation of flow. So, with this we just divide the real flow is based on the movement of goods and services. It is a movement of factors of production from different sectors of economy also taken for the calculation of flow. Then second one is a money flow. The movement of goods and services will not taken into consideration, only the monetary terms, the money value only considered within the different sectors of economy. So, we are not calculating how much goods transferred or how much goods purchased, we are not taking those quantity into consideration, we just have taken only the number of or a quantity or in terms of value, the value money value only considered for the measurement of money flow. So, the circular flow which include the real flow as well as money flow, both the thing has been calculated. So, the circular flow of income and expenditure, you need to understand the determinants. What are the determinants of circular flow of income and expenditure, including household, firm, financial institutions, government and foreign sector are those major determinants of economy, major determinants of circular flow of income and expenditure. So, the first one, household. So, in that the household, what the household is normally doing, in the household individuals or a group of individuals, they are residing as a family together, what they are purchasing. So, how much they are purchasing, how much they are spent, the purchase of goods and services, what they are purchasing, and what the income of the household in terms of offering the payment, in terms of payment received for rendering the factor service, in terms of offering the factoring services. While we take the second sector, firm, in that the firm that are all doing the business, for the business they are selling of goods and services, the flow of goods and services to the household as well as to the government, they are selling the goods and services, they will receive the income out of that, and they are also making payment for utilizing the services from the household. So, that is a work of the firms, as well as the firms are also making payment in terms of the taxes to the government, that they are making payment, and the role of financial institutions, including the role of financial institution, what they are collecting or they are receiving the deposits and they are offering a kind of loans or they are providing investments to the industries. So, that the role of financial institution is also very important for measuring the flow of income and expenses, and the role of government, the government is also manufacturing, government is also offering the goods and services, government is also accepting the tax from the household, the government is accepting the tax from the firms, the government is also providing subsidies for the development of industries, for the consumers also the subsidies are provided, for the lower income category, middle income category, there are a kind of schemes amended by the government, for that the government is providing some sort of funds, the welfare facilities offered by the governments are providing some sort of transfer payments. So, those categories the government is also an important to measure the circular flow of income and expenses, and the foreign sector or the rest of the world, so the import and export activity between the various sector which involved in the foreign sector. So, that also we will calculate in the circular flow of income and expenditure. So, what we consider these 5 major category, or we call it as a 5 major elements which are all included while we are measuring the income and expenditure within the economy. And the circular flow of income, we divide the circular flow of income into the 3 major category. First one, the circular flow of income from 2 sector economy. The 2 sector economy will classified as household and firms, household and firms. And the circular flow of income calculated on 3 sector economy, household, firms and the government sector. The government sector is included here. Here for the next one, circular flow of income in a 4 sector economy, household, firm, the government and the foreign sector for export and import activities. We will measure, we will calculate for this. So, for the, let me take the first one, households and the firms, between the activities of household and the firm, that included in terms of real flow as well as money flow is measured here. And we take the 3 sector economy. For the 3 sector economy, household, firms and the government sector is also included here. The government is also play a role for offering the benefits to the individual, to the household, to the firms, so that the benefits and the collection of payment from the household as well as from the firm in terms of tax that they are receiving. So, that will be calculated in this, and the circular flow of income and expenditure from the 4 sector economy, that will calculate addition to the government sector will include the foreign sector into calculation. It means the import and export taken for the calculation. So, whatever the flow of money will be measured in terms of inflow, the flow of money will be calculated in terms of outflow. So, the inflow and outflow will be calculated by using foreign sector in this. So, these are the 3 sector economy, and the first one, circular flow of income from the 2 sector economy. So, in this 2 sector, households and firms only involving with this. So, in this what you need to understand, the national income under this 2 sector economy is calculated, the national income is equal to consumption. So, whatever the income generated from this 2 sector, income is equal to consumption or income is equal to expenses. So, this is what the assumption has been taken in this 2 sector economy. So, let me take the first one, household, and what would be the relationship between the households and firms. So, the first one, you take the households are purchasing the goods and services. So, the purchase of goods and services, that what the households spend for expenditure on goods and services, that they are going to purchase it from the firms. For the firm, what they are doing, the flow of goods and services, they are transferring the goods and services from the firms to household. This is what the first one. Here you take the real flow and money flow. So, what is the real flow? The real flow is the flow of goods and services. What is here as money flow? The expenditure on goods and services. So, the money flow and the real flow will calculate, and we take between the relationship between the firms and household, what type of relationship that they have. The firms are getting factor services from the household. So, the households are providing the factor services to the firms, the factor services provided. What is factor services? The factor services are the factors of production. What are the factors of production? Land, labor, capital and entrepreneurial ability. So, that normally what we consider, the households are own these factors. So, these factors are to be rendered by the household to the firms. So, the household have land. So, the land given to the firms. So, it is a first factor service. So, next you take labor, what the household is working as an employee in the organization, and capital provided by the firm by the household to the firm, and entrepreneurial ability is given, the support, the entrepreneurial support given by the households to the firm. So, these are the things what we normally consider as the factor service rendered by the households to the firm. So, this what we consider as a real flow, we consider as a real flow. Where is the money flow? Why? Because in this the flow of income and expenses, every real flow will have a money flow. So, here real flow is offering of factor services by the household to the firms. For that, what firms are doing? Firms are accepting the factor services. What are the factor services? Providing land, getting labor, getting capital, and getting entrepreneurial ability of the household, that is utilized by the firms. For that, the firms are offering, the firms are giving the factor income. What are the factor income given by the firms? In terms of using land, they are giving rent. In terms of using labor, they are giving wages or they are giving salary. In terms of using capital given by the household, they are giving a interest. In terms of using the entrepreneurial ability of the household, they are giving a profit. So, these are the money flow in terms of factor income what we are receiving. So, in this the circular flow of income of the two sector economy, there are two factors or two sectors, household and the firms. The household, what normally they are providing factor service, they are purchasing goods and services. There is one money flow and one real flow, and here for firms, firms are accepting factor services, the firms are transferring the goods, which means the firms are making payment for the factor services rendered by the household. One thing is a money flow. Then second one, whatever the goods and services purchased by the household, those goods and services transferred from the firms to the household, we call it as a real flow. So, this is a two sector economy. In this two sector economy, need to understand about the concept called withdrawals and injections. While we take the first assumption, what we have, S is equal to Y minus C, which means savings is equal to income minus consumption. But what normally we have a assumption? We have a assumption entire income is equal to the expenses, which means entire income is equal to the consumption. But what the changes here, you need to understand the changes. Every amount, whatever the amount received by the household, the entire amount will not be spent for the purpose. So, what we have some leakages, we have some withdrawals also happens in the economy. So, how those withdrawals and how those injections are to be measured? Withdrawals what we consider as a outflow. So, in this equation you need to understand the savings, how we identify the savings, income minus consumption, it means income minus expenses, whatever the income you have received. Say for example, you have received 20,000 rupee and you have spent for 15,000 rupee, remaining 5,000 what we consider as a savings, it means for the future consumption, you are storing for future consumption. So, that will calculate in this. We need to understand better for knowing the concept of withdrawals and savings, withdrawals and injections. So, here withdrawal as an outflow of fund, it is out from the economy, out from the sector, and what is injection? Is an inflow, injections as a inflow. Okay. So, that the injections and withdrawals is not only applicable for the households, it is also applicable for the firms, it is also applicable for the governments, it is also applicable for the foreign sector also. It is not only for the two sector, rest of the sectors also this injections and withdrawals applicable for this. So, the withdrawals are like a kind of outflow of funds and the injections are the inflow of funds in this. So, keep this concept, we will explain in further, and you need to understand the circular flow of income in 3 sector economy. So, the circular flow of income in 3 sector economy, there are 3 important sectors included. First one household, second one firms, third one government sector. So, here in this you need to understand the role of capital market. What is the role of capital market or a financial institution or a bank you take? They are collecting deposits and those deposits are going to be given in the form of loans or they are going to make investments into the business, other business or core business activity or other related business activity, they are going to make investment. So, that you need to understand here the rest of the flows are common. What is the rest of the flows are common? The household, that they are purchasing the goods and services, that is what the expenditure on goods and services, whatever the money spent. So, you are aware the expenditure on goods and services is a money flow, and for that the firms are transferring the goods and services, the flow of goods and services, real flow, and the household renders the factor services is a real flow. For the whatever the factor services received from the household, the firms are making payment, what we call it as a factor payment, the factor income received by the household in terms of monetary flow. So, this remains constant, but here you need to understand the role of government. What is the role of government in this? The role of government here for making, the government is also manufacturing, the government is also offering the goods and services, that the goods and services is also going to be purchased by the households, also purchased by the firms. In addition to this, the government is also collecting taxes from the household as well as from the firms. For that, the government is also providing a number of facilities to the firms, facilities to the households. What are those? For that, you need to understand firms are paying taxes to the government, money flow. Individuals or the households, the families are also paying tax to the government, what we call it as a money flow. And what government is doing? The government is expenditure on the services and transfer payments, which means whatever the service utilized from the household. Why? Because that the household is also providing a service. Here you need to understand the factor service what provided by the households to the government. For accepting factor service, the government is providing the factor income or factor payment to the household, factor payment to the household. So, that we consider as a expenditure on services. We will take here service from the utilized from the household and making some transfer payments, offering some sort of subsidy, kind of welfare facilities what offered by the government to the households, in terms of even we are purchasing LPG, will get some subsidy, we are going for public distribution system, ration shop we are getting a product in a subsidized rate. So, for that what the government is providing a kind of welfare facility to the household. So, that what consider as a kind of expenses to the government, we also consider as a money flow. Here it is transferred from the government to the household. And we take the firms and the government. Here the firms and the government, the firms are paying taxes, so that received by the government. For that the government is also making expenses on the goods and subsidies provided to the firms. In terms, the firms also offering the service and the firms will receive a payment. For example, majority of the government organizations, the kind of work is being executed by the other organizations, and the government using some sort of services from the firms, for that they are making payments. The government is providing a kind of subsidies to the firms in terms of starting up the enterprises, even for running the enterprises, quality improvement. There are a number of schemes floated by the government. For that the different benefits, even interest subsidy or a kind of capital subsidy, the different sorts in which the government can help the enterprises for its growth. So that the kind of services being provided from the government to the firms included in the 3 sector economy. The next one, circular flow of income in 4 sector economy. In that the 4 sector economy, we also included the foreign sector. In that the foreign sector, we have the exports and import also taken here, but the rest of the things are common. You take for example of the household making purchase of goods and services, flow of goods and services from the firms to the household, and the kind of the factor services and factor income, and the government taxes and transfer payment here for the firms collecting taxes and providing sort of subsidies are provided. But what is the role of foreign sector? The role of foreign sector with the rest of the economy, which means the firms are making payment for imports, which means the foreign sector makes the real flow transferring of goods and services to the firms, and the firms are receiving payments of export, which means the goods and services what exported are transferred from the firms to the foreign sector. So that will take here for the 4 sector economy. Okay. And here you need to understand the role of the capital market. It means for banks and financial institutions, where the banks and financial institutions, that the savings what collected from the households, that is going to be transferred by the capital market for further mobilization in terms of offering investments or in terms of offering loans that provided by the households. That is what here the savings are converted into the investment. And here you need to understand the concept, the leakages and injections. Here for leakages and injections, what is the leakages, and you need to understand what is injections. The leakages are withdrawals. What are the withdrawals here? Here the withdrawals from the economy, from the different sectors of economy, we can take the savings. What is savings? How we will calculate the savings? Savings, we calculated the savings is equal to Y minus C. It means the income minus consumption, expenditure on consumption. Remaining portion or a residual portion, what we call it as savings. So that the residual portion of the thing we call it as a savings. What the first assumption in the 2 sector economy, whatever the entire income is equal to expenses. But here the entire income is not spent for expenses, not spent towards the consumption. So that is a problem here. So what happens to the remaining amount? Will kept in the form of savings. So where we kept in the form of savings? So what we are doing, we are normally doing that the money we consider as withdrawal, which we consider as outflow of fund, outflow of money, which means which is away from the sector, that particular money is away from the sector. So that we call it as a savings. So normally with the 3 sector and 4 sector economy, you understand the savings are away from the sector, which is kept away from the sector, kept away from the household, and that will be stored, that will be deposited into the capital market, or that will be invested into the capital market. So that the savings is a outflow, or what we call it as a leakages, is a withdrawals. It means the outflow of fund, outflow of money from the sector. And the taxes. So here what you need to understand, the first assumption, we have income is equal to the consumption. If I have received 20,000 rupee, the 20,000 rupee I am going to spend, no problem. Here there is no injections, there is no withdrawals. The entire money what we have received has been spent, not an issue. But I have received 20,000 rupee, I have spent 15,000 rupee for consumption. So there is a problem here, it is arising. So what happens remaining 5,000 rupee? The 5,000 rupee is outflow of fund. It means withdrawals. we are withdrawing from the consumption. We are going to store it for future consumption. We are going to store it for making deposit into the banks, deposits into the post office, or making investment into the market. It is turned into the market. So, that what we consider as a withdrawals, and let you take the taxes, whatever the source of income, especially you take for the firms as well as for the household, whatever the income they are receiving, the income is not equal to consumption. So, you understand the income Y is equal to C plus S, which means the consumption plus savings. So, the consumption plus savings, and you need to understand whatever the total income, you need to pay the taxes. If it is exceeding the limit prescribed by the government, you need to pay the taxes. So, how much I need to pay the taxes? So, that also problem we need to understand. It is also, the taxes is also considered as a leakages, the taxes is also considered as a outflow of money, the taxes are the withdrawals. So, in this particular one, we need to understand the taxes is a outflow, it is flow from one sector to other sector, which means from the firm to the government, with the household to the government, they are paying tax, the taxes are collected by the government. So, we will call it as a leakages, which is away from the economy, we will consider as. And the next one is import. What the goods and services, if it is not available in domestically, it is not available or scarcely available, we are going for the activity of importing of goods and services. For a technological machinery, we are importing. So, for that what we need to pay. So, the money flow is away from our economy, the flow of money is away from our economy, away from the economy. So, which also we consider as a import, also consider as a outflow, import also consider as a leakages. When the there is no leakages, it means there is no flow of fund away from the economy. If the flow of fund is away from the economy, we will consider as a leakages, we will consider as a withdrawals, or it is a kind of outflow of money from the sector. So, these three, savings, taxes and imports, we consider as leakages. And there is a leakage, in opposite to that we have injections. Why? Because we are not going to spend, we are not going to transfer that money, whatever the money we have transferred from one sector to other sector will have other benefits, will have additional benefits, will have additional source for that, the kind of leakages. Injections, we call it as injections. Injections are the inflow of funds, injections are the inflow of funds. So, what are those inflow of funds, what are the benefits of those inflow of funds? You need to understand. The first one is a investment, is a inflow of funds. So, whatever you have saved, whatever the money you have not spent from your income, unspent portion of income kept in the form of savings, that is deposited into the capital market, and the capital market will receive those deposits, and again those deposits or savings are infused in the form of investment into the market. So, that will be received by the other sector, what we call it as a firms. Firms are receiving the investments collectively from the households. So, the different households are making deposits. So, those deposits or those investments are to be realized, different forms of income are to be realized by the household in terms of loan or in terms of different the contribution of capital that will be received. So, that will be again infused into the economy, again injected into the economy, what we call it as injections. So, the injection, the first one injection, the first one inflow of cash, inflow of money, we call it as investment. The second one, government spending. What is government spending? Why the government spending is become a injection? Because what we have, what received by the government in the form of taxes. So, those taxes are not only kept by the government as it is, whatever the tax received from the household as well as from the firms ought to be utilized for different purpose. What the purpose received by the government? Government are using the services from the household, which means the factoring services received from the household. Further, the factor payment, transfer payment are given by the government to the household. It is also again injected into the economy. Then second one, whatever the taxes received from the firms, the government is also extending the service, providing the welfare facilities. The government is also getting or using receiving goods and services or purchasing goods and services from the firms, as well as the government is also providing a kind of subsidy to the firms in terms of starting up of the enterprises or running the enterprises or for improving the quality of an enterprises. For better marketing of enterprises, there are different schemes. For example, you take MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises, there are different schemes are floated by the ministry, as well as there are different organizations, they are also floating a different schemes. So, with that the scheme you can be able to start your business. For the starting up of the business, the government is providing subsidy, including a moratorium period, including a kind of interest holiday, including capital subsidy. The different benefits are to be provided by the government to the firms. Okay. So, that what we call it as government spending is also again infused into the economy, we call it as injections. Injections are the inflow of money. The last one, the imports what we have received in the form of leakages, in corresponding to the imports what we have exports. What is export? That the goods and services are away from the country, we will sell the goods and services out of the country, we will receive the income from the rest of the world, we will receive the income from the rest of the world. So, the income what we have generated from the rest of the world has infused into the economy. So, this we call it as the exports. So, exports is not normally considered that whenever we are considering the developing country or developed country, the developed countries are having a major portion of export. So, the enormous kind of incomes are to be generated in this the activity of export. So, that the benefits are also transferred. So, this export what we consider as the inflow of funds, the funds are injected into the economy. So, these are the leakages and injections. Once again, the leakages are what we consider as outflow of funds. That outflow of fund is not entirely is going to be as idle one. The outflow of fund again comes in the form of injections, again comes in the form of inflow of funds with a different effect in an economy. Okay. So, these are the major things in this circular flow of income and expenditure. So, with this I would like to just summarize the information in the circular flow of income and expenses. The circular flow of income and expenses what I have completed in this session. The first one, the circular flow will be calculated on or measuring with the two important parameter, one is real flow and money flow. The real flow is a flow of goods and services, the flow of factor services, the factors of production, that we will consider as the real flow. The money flow will calculated on the monetary flow with the different sectors of economy, one thing. Second one is about the determinants of the circular flow of income and expenses. The major determinants of income and expenditure are the factors influencing for income and expenses of an economy is household, firms, government, financial institutions, foreign sector are the major category we have in the form of determining the flow of funds from the different sectors. And the circular flow of income and expenses classified into three major categories: 2 sector economy, 3 sector economy and 4 sector economy. In the 2 sector economy, only 2 sectors, the households and firms taken into the consideration while calculating the economy, while we take the 3 sector economy along with the household firms, we also take the government into consideration. The 4 sector economy along with households, along with firms, along with government, we also take the foreign sector into consideration. So, you understand about the flow of goods and services, the flow of money flow from the households and firm, from the households to the government, the firms to the government, and the government to the firms, government to the households. And the foreign sector export and import activities with the firms we take in the 4 sector economy, that the 4 sector economy inflow and outflow will calculate on that the basis. So, the import and export we have, and with that the overall calculation, the overall measurement of money flow and overall measurement of real flow, you need to understand the withdrawals and injections, leakages or withdrawals. What we consider as a leakages or withdrawals are away from the economy. What is the injections are injected or reinforced into the economy for the further development. So, these are the categories you need to understand. This is what the way we will measure the income of a nation. Thank you.